Sairam students, welcome to English revision lecture. Today we are going to revise a few chapters from our class 10 textbook and also a few grammar and writing skill topic. So let's get started. From the diary of Anne Frank. I'll tell you the summary of this chapter. It is a part of Anne Frank's diary. Here she tells us about the early days of her life, where she tells us that she decided to start writing a diary because she did not have any friend. Anne Frank was born on 12 June 1929. She had a sister who was 3 years older to her. She lived in Frankfurt till the age of 4. Her father immigrated to Holland in 1933. Anne was sent to Montessori school and stayed there until she was 6. She started in the first form. When Anne was in the sixth form, her teacher was Mrs. Cuberis, the headmistress, and both had a great love for each other. Anne had no one in whom she could confide, she could share her secret. So she decided to write a diary. She called this diary as Kitty. And she made her first entry in the diary on 20th June 1942. Anne describes her experiences with her mathematics teacher, Mr. Keesing. Now, what she tells us about Mr. Keesing? That he used to punish her for talking in the class. He gave her extra homework. He asked her to write an essay on a chatterbox. And, still Anne didn't stop talking. Even after writing the essay, she still continued to talk. So Mr. Keesing asked her to write an essay on an incorrigible chatterbox. Mr. Keesing liked the essays written by Anne Frank, and Anne could not give up the habit of talking in the class. So as a punishment, Mr. Keesing asked her to write an essay on an unusual title. Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. Now Anne wrote this essay in the form of a poem. It was about Mother Duck and Father Swan. The father bit the 3 ducklings to death because they quacked too much. So it was a satire on Mr. Keesing. But he took the joke in the right way. He read the poem to Anne's class and also other classes. He allowed Anne to talk in the class and never again gave her extra homework. So students, this is a summary of the lesson from the diary of Anne Frank. Let's move ahead. The next is a poem, Amanda by Robin Klein. Now let me tell you a quick summary of this poem. This poem is about the views of a small girl named Amanda, about liberty in life. She is instructed not to bite her nails and not to hunch her shoulders. She is instructed to sit in a particular way, to sit straight. She wants freedom and wishes to draft in the sea like a mermaid. The speaker asks her if she has done her homework, cleaned her room and shoes. The girl wishes that she should be an orphan, roaming freely in the dusty streets. The speaker forbids her to eat chocolate, but the little girl does not even look at the speaker because she does not like this type of restrictions. She wants to be free. She wants freedom. She considers herself to be Rapunzel and yearns that some prince will come for the sake of her liberty. So she is basically tired of all the restrictions that is being put upon her. And she wants to be a free bird. Okay, she compares herself with Rapunzel. So it's a very short and sweet poem, very easy to understand. Now let us move towards the next one. A Triumph of Surgery. Okay, this is a very interesting story and I hope you all remember. Let me tell you the theme of this story. It revolves around an ill dog named Tricky and his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey. The dog was hugely fat. His eyes were blood red and roomy. Mrs. Pumphrey gave her malt, cod liver oil and bowl of Horlicks till Tricky had no energy. Now here the doctor advised to cut down on sweet things. But Tricky left, he kept on eating and vomiting. And once he started vomiting, he was to be hospitalized. The doctor gave Tricky nothing to eat for the first 2 days except water. And on the 3rd day, there were signs of improvement. Tricky started taking food properly. The doctor didn't give him any medical treatments. He was just controlling his diet. So then what happened? As a result of this, he started running around and playing with other dogs cheerfully. Soon he recovered completely, and Mrs. Pumphrey continued inquiring about Tricky on phone. She was very fond of Tricky. When she came to collect the dog, tears were shining in her eyes, and she called this magical recovery a triumph of surgery. I hope, students, you're clear with this chapter as well. So let's move ahead. The last one that we have here is The Thief's Story by Ruskin Bond. Yet another interesting story. So, what this story is about? Let me tell you. The story deals with basic human values and relationships. It is very easy for a thief to rob a greedy man. But it is difficult, or you can say it is difficult even for a thief to to rob a careless and honest person. So Hari Singh, who is the thief, he did steal Anil's money, but he couldn't run away with that money. But the reason for that was he had no friends because he regarded them to be trouble than help. The only person he really knew was the man he had robbed. Moreover, Anil was ready to educate Hari Singh. The thief's conscience pricked him. He came back to Anil and crept to his bed. He slipped the money under the mattress from where he had stolen it a few hours ago. Okay, so here, it's a very beautiful story. How the thief's conscience helps him to, become a better person in life. Alright, so now moving ahead, we'll start with our next revision topic, which is a formal letter. Let me tell you, students, you need to prepare yourself really well for the writing skills as well as the grammar topics. Now let me tell you about formal letter. You need to know the format really well. And there are certain guidelines that you need to follow while writing a letter. It should be precise and to the point. Only relevant information should be mentioned. You should avoid spelling and grammatical errors. The tone of the letter must be very polite and respectful. The subject line, it is very important and it must be well presented. Now, apart from this, let me explain you the format. In the format, there will be sender's address. Okay, you'll start writing it on the left hand side, close to the margin. Sender's address, followed by date, then receiver's address, then subject, salutations, body of the letter, complimentary close or subscription, and then sender's name, designation and signature. Do remember to leave a line after each of these elements. Okay, which means after sender's address, leave a line, then write date. So this way you have to leave a line after each of these elements mentioned over here. Now, date. When you write a date, it's been observed that we don't follow the correct format. So the correct format is, in this case, we can see 20th March 2020 is the correct one. You will not use comma anywhere in between while writing the dates. So this is the correct format shown over here in the screen. Alright, so moving ahead. Receiver's address. Receiver's address should be written on the left hand side, close to the margin, and no punctuation should be used, no comma or full stop. You need to write the designation only if it is given in the question. Subject. Do remember, subject must always be short and precise. It must convey the matter for which the letter is being written. And the subject must be clear and apt to grab the reader's attention. Let me repeat that. The subject must be clear and apt to grab the reader's attention. Now, salutation. Salutation you can write in either ways. Correct form of salutation is sir or madam, or you can also write dear sir or madam. So correct form of salutation should be used and any one of this can be followed. The body of the letter. It has to be divided into 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph is the introduction, followed by details about the subject in question. And the last is conclusion. And do remember, it must be very clear and to the point. You cannot discuss, there cannot be casual talks because this is a formal letter. Complimentary close or subscription, yours truly or yours faithfully or yours sincerely. You can write any one of them. Do remember not to use comma at the end of the line. Do not use any apostrophe marks while writing yours. You just have to write the way it's given over here. Sender's name, signature and designation. While writing this information, it should always be written on the left hand side corner, okay, close to the margin. If the name is mentioned, it must be written here, or else XYZ needs to be written. If the designation is mentioned, it needs to be written over here. I hope students this formal letter is clear. You need to know the format of the letter. There should be no doubt as far as format is concerned. In exam, questions may be asked questions may be asked based on the format. All right, so you need to be very clear about the format. Also, you can be asked any type of question that is based on formal letter. You may be asked to identify a letter or any such question which completely revolves around formal letter. So prepare well for this. Moving ahead, our last topic is figure of speech. Now, figure of speech. Figures of speech, let us start with the first one, simile. Simile refers to direct comparison between two objects. The soldier was as brave as a lion. Metaphor. Metaphor is an indirect comparison between two objects. It is also known as implied simile. All the world is a stage. It's a very good example of metaphor. So simile is a direct comparison, whereas metaphor is an indirect comparison between two objects. Next is personification. Personification refers to, here, basically inanimate objects or say abstract ideas are given human quality. So, like the example, Death lays his icy hands on the king. Next is apostrophe. Here you address someone who is absent or dead or a non-human as if that thing is present. So you address it in such a way as if it is present. Oh, nature, thou art my goddess. The next figures of speech is antithesis. When opposite ideas are placed beside each other. Okay. When opposite ideas are placed in the same sentence. Our loss is your gain. Okay. Loss and gain are opposite ideas which fall in the same sentence. Epigram, a brief pointed saying or frequently used idea. He makes no friends who never made a foe. Okay, so again here it's a brief point saying or saying about a frequently used idea. Oxymoron, it's a special form of antithesis where two contradictory qualities are put together. Okay, two qualities which are contradictory like wise and fool. In this example, Jack was the wisest fool. So they are put together. Irony, the words used are such that the meaning is contrary to what the real situation is. Okay, the real situation is something else and the meaning is something, whatever the meaning is, it's completely contrary to what the real situation is. I can't wait to read the 700-page report. Okay, so here the meaning is contrary. It's totally opposite to what the real situation is about. I can't wait to read the 700-page report. Alliteration. Alliteration refers to repetition of words of the same, repetition of the same letter. Repetition refers to repetition of the same word. Alliteration refers to repetition of the same letter. The tiny ships on the shiny sea. Whereas repetition example is home, home, sweet home. Onomatopoeia. words which are used to imitate sound. Her bracelets made a tinkling sound. Sparkling sea. Okay, so these words intimate sound. Hyperbole is a statement, an exaggerated statement. I called her 1,000 times, but she never looked back. So it is an overstatement. Tautology. Tautology is the repetition of an idea in different words. Okay, so different words are used, but the same idea is expressed. She listened motionless and still. So motionless and still have the same, it's the same meaning, but then different words are used to express. Transferred epithet. Here, an adjective. An adjective is transferred from its proper word to another that is closely associated in the sentence. So this adjective is transferred from one place to another. They knelt down with angry prayers. So with this, we come to an end of this lecture. I hope students, you are clear with formal letter and the few figure of speech that we discussed. Also, I hope you are clear with the summary of the lesson that we discussed from the diary of Anne Frank, the poem Amanda, and also the two chapters. Apart from this, the two chapters, The Triumph of Surgery and A Thief's Story. Okay, so I hope students, you're prepared well for your exam. All the best. Thank you.